So I just realized I made it halfway through my TBR and had not pressed record. So, starting again. Hey everybody, I'm Danielle and this is Bookara. I am bringing you my Believathon TBR. For those of you who don't know about Believathon, it is a readathon hosted by Gavin at How to Train Your Gavin. And for this readathon, we will be working to solve the mystery of the missing Maleficarum. In order to do that, we have to gather 13 clues, and each one of those clues is designated a prompt in which a book will fulfill. So I am going to walk you through my Believathon TBR. The first book on my TBR is Tilly and the Bookwanderers by, I can't remember. Tilly and the Bookwanderers by Anna James, and this is the first book in the Pages & Co. series, and it's about a girl named Tilly who lives with her grandparents in their home above their bookshop. When she was very young, her mother left, and so since then she has lived with her grandparents. Tilly loves to escape into the pages of a book, and one day her favorite book characters come to life. Along with them, she sets out to figure out the mystery of what happened to her mother all those years ago. I forgot to say, Tilly and the Bookwanderers fulfills the prompts of the key, which is a mystery, and also the chain, which features a cast of colorful characters. The next book I'm reading for Believathon is Other Words for Home by Jasmine Harga. This book is going to fulfill the fingerprint prompt, which is a book that is written by an author from another culture as you. So this is about a girl named Jude and her mother. They flee their hometown in Syria when things become volatile, leaving behind her brother and her dad. They come to live with family in Cincinnati, and as Jude adjusts to her new life in America, she begins to see that this is a place where she too can be seen for who she really is. Next on my Believathon TBR is 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison, and this is going to fulfill the torn page prompt, which is a book with a supernatural element. 13 Treasures is about a 13-year-old girl named Tanya who can see fairies and is in fact tortured by them. She can see fairies, but nobody else can see the fairies. And so she is kind of banished to her grandmother's estate, and it is near the woods, and these woods are very mysterious and full of dark secrets. And Tanya soon finds herself entangled in a mystery that could entrap her in the fairy realm forever. Okay, book 4 for Believathon is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by, I should know this, by Jessica Townsend. So this book is going to fulfill the prompt of The Crown, which is a book set in an alternate world, and also The Footprints, which is a book that features a prominent villain. So if you have never heard of Nevermoor, this book is about a girl named Morrigan Crow. She is a cursed child. She was born on the unluckiest day of the year, and as a cursed child she is blamed for everything that goes wrong in the town, and she is also doomed to die at midnight on her 11th birthday. As she awaits her fate, a man named Jupiter North comes and he swoops her away to this magical land of Nevermoor, and there she has to compete with these other gifted children for a place in the city's most prestigious organization called the Wondrous Society. And so she has to compete against other gifted children for her place there, but Morrigan doesn't see herself as having any ability. So in order to stay in Nevermoor, she has to figure out a way to pass the test, or she will have to leave and confront her fate. Next we have Took by Mary Downing Hahn, and this is going to fulfill the prompt of The Spilled Ink, which is a book that features a ghost. This book is about a boy named Daniel Anderson who moves to a place in West Virginia with his family. The local kids are trying to scare him with stories of a ghost witch called Old Auntie who lives up on Brewster Hill. Daniel thinks that these kids are just picking on him because he's the new kid and he doesn't take anything that they're saying seriously until his younger sister Erica, who is 7 years old, she starts acting funny. She becomes more and more withdrawn and starts having these long conversations with her look-alike doll, And when she wanders away into the woods, Daniel freaks out and realizes that his sister just got took. And so he has to muster up all of his courage to go and rescue her. The next book on my Believathon TBR is The Magician's Key by Matthew Cody. This is the third Matthew Cody book I have read. The first was Will and Scarlet, and the second was the book that comes in the series before this one. It's called The Peddler's Road, and this series is called The Secrets of the Pied Piper. And so this book fulfills the Flash of Lightning prompt, which is a book based on folklore, and it also fulfills the Dagger prompt, which is a book that is set in a dangerous setting. And so in The Magician's Key, Max and her brother Carter, they found their way to the Summer Isle in the original book, which is the place where the Pied Piper of Hamelin led the children away, and the children have been there all this time. In the first book, only Max escaped the Summer Isle, and so in this book, she is going back to save her brother Carter. To do so, she's going to have to find the one and only key to the Summer Isle that is controlled by a dastardly magician named Bodnik. Bodnik is a soul stealer that will stop at nothing to get what he wants. Meanwhile, Carter is on the Summer Isle. He is kind of in a pickle of his own. He's been separated from his friends, and his only companion right now is the Pied Piper, whom previously was the bad guy. Max and Carter struggle desperately to find one another. As their paths converge, they prepare for the most important quest yet, which is to get the children of Hamelin back home. The next book on my Believathon TBR is Inkheart by Cornelia Funke, and this is a book about Maggie, whose father reads her a story called Inkheart, and before she knows it, an evil person from the pages of the book winds up in her living room. Suddenly, Maggie is in the middle of the kind of adventure that she's only ever read about in books. She must learn to harness the magic that has conjured this nightmare, for only she can change the course of the story that has changed her life forever. And I don't know if I said this, but Inkheart fulfills the prompt of The Hand Mirror, which is a book with a beautiful cover. The last book in my Believathon TBR is The Compass by Tyler Scott Hess. It is an ebook ARC that I received from the author. The Compass is the second in a series called The Adventures of Nico Monroe. The first book in this series was called The Treasure Map. In The Compass, Jack is home for winter break, and he is looking forward to doing all of the wintry things that kids do: hot chocolate, sledding, snowman building, etc. The only problem is he has been given a social studies assignment to do along with his friends the Santos brothers and a girl that he doesn't much care for called Susie Jefferson. So Jack is supposed to be working on this project, but he is distracted by memories from the previous year when he was able to see the future through the eyes of a boy named Nico Monroe. Jack sees a new marking on the treasure map that had previously transported him to the state of Ariel. Upon seeing this marking, he is quickly rushed away to the beginnings of a new era. Nico and his friends, the Faithful Six, are being held captive by the malicious Julius Arrigo, while the nation riots and a threat from the north looms over Ariel. Somehow they must make it through the northern corridor to find a mysterious ally called the Maiden. The Maiden has a plan to expose Arrigo and tell the world the truth about the Faithful. So that's it, guys. That's my Believathon TBR. I think the only prompts I didn't mention were Scream, which is an audiobook or a book you can read aloud, and then also the Backpack, which is a new to you author. The new to me author could really be any of them in my TBR other than Matthew Cody, and the book to be read aloud could also be any of them as well, so I'm staying flexible there. So I would love to hear about your Believathon TBR. I would love to hear if you have read any of the books in my stack or are looking forward to reading any of the books in my stack. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time with more bookish content. Bye!